Clap it up for Angel is, everybody. Straight from East Los.
A very requested guest.
You're gonna have to ask the questions because you know me.
Yeah.
I just get into the things I know.
Which is a lot of things.
For the most part, yeah. I don't
Yeah. Which is the things you do know, well though, right? It's like
well enough.
Well enough, yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, yeah.
None. What is it? It's actually the same continues, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay, can we pull that Jack of all trades thing?
yeah, there's actually a full saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right there. Jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. Yeah. There you go. I like that a lot. In this day, you can't just be good at one thing, right? Unless you're like really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be your focus for life, but like us, we like doing a lot of
right. Even if it's just for the fun.
Yeah.
Like just be into shit.
Yeah. Like lately, Paco's telling me, man, you know how to do this, you know how to, mix music. He's been asking me to start doing some remixes.
Yeah.
Like remixes of music, because people do remixes of like any kind of song, like a hip hop song.
Yeah.
And then changing them up, to EDM or reggae, or just giving it a nice vibe, changing it up.
Yeah, different drums, different whole genre.
Yeah.
Just put the lyrics and the logic when you guys open it back up. It's wicked.
Yeah.
They have a stem splitter now where you just drop the MP3 in and it separates vocals, drums, guitar, piano, everything. Just automatic. It take like 30 seconds, just splits everything.
Yeah.
So now I could get the sampling game is whole wiped
Changed
out.
up.
Yeah, I could slow down the vocals, everything.
Yeah.
It's smarter than ever. It's like, too much AI is in it already. Not too much AI, but AI is in it already now. Where I can't keep up. That's for sure. I got too many things.
A lot of things going on.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's I've been fucking around. I was fucking around a little bit like a couple months ago. I was trying to record every day. I did like a 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking, I'm just gonna try to record every day, and I did it. I did like 3 weeks straight, and I ended like on Mother's Day. We had the little barbecue, and then I got a little faded, and not sunburned, but burned out by the sun.
Got all red?
Nah, not too red. Nice bronze. A nice bronzing. You guys have been getting fucking bronzed over there in Vegas or with the sun?
I just hide in my hotel room.
When we would stadium swim was ridiculous. So ridiculous. We were talking like, bro, they could have added like some type of dome and let some sun break through on certain spots, because that shit was fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's hot.
We just everybody was just pure water, Michelob's and water bottle.
They look Michelob out when they popped up to my room.
Yeah.
Fucking Baco and Edwin. Boxes of shrimp fried rice.
Yeah, yep. I got
Talking about you want some. I'm in the room with Erica getting ready. You guys talking about, you guys want some rice right now?
You want some shrimp rice?
Baco's rice rolled up. My phone, where's my phone? And he got in trouble.
What's it been, like 2 years now? Almost, about to be 2 years of you guys running together? Like
running together, yeah.
How would you like judge you guys' level of growth?
It's going good. It's going well.
Yeah.
I'd say we're moving along. It's been uphill for the most part, things get tight. Money's always tight.
Yeah.
Payroll's expensive.
Insurance.
That's
like a thing we don't think about, right?
Yeah.
Or like people that never been in business, they like, oh, what? It's like, it reminds me of getting a car for my first time. Like once I get a car, because I got my first car like when I was 21.
Right.
Like, well, I'm gonna be driving everywhere. I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be doing that. Like I'm gonna be active. And, yeah, right. You're gonna have insurance. You're gonna have bills. You're gonna have fucking flat tire. You're gonna have this, that. It's gas and washes and.
Yeah, it's not life's not easy living in the United States. That's for sure. When you have to have all of the above checked off.
Just because they say, right?
Yeah, just to be legal, be safe on your insurance. That way, you hit somebody, don't get sued. You got it all covered up, James picked up that other Cadillac from a estate sale, and now he's kind of iffy. Like, damn, do I really want to pay for that extra stuff and insurance? And he has his responsibility with his little car already, so it just adds more onto the whole thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, with business, me and Francisco we're moving along, for sure it's changing our lives, making things better all the way around.
For sure, more responsible too, right?
More responsibility. We're constantly
In demand.
in demand and constantly thinking. Your mind is going constant. Like
Even on your off days.
even on your off days, you still think about it off and on.
Do you try to avoid like working on weekends just for
No.
like the sake of your sanity?
No, if it
Just-
comes up, it comes up. If something has to be done, we'll do it.
The words
There's a lot of
don't-
help out there nowadays. You
Yeah.
can write it out, chat GPT it, comes out even more professional.
Yeah, chat GPT to change to past tense too for
Yeah.
the invoices.
Yeah,
Like if
yeah.
it's something different
Yeah.
or something kind of niche,
Yeah.
I'll just change the tense and boom, drop it on the invoice. I don't want to say it's fun doing the paperwork because sometimes, oftentimes it's not. But there's like a little,
Yeah.
there's like a little, like, I don't know, like there's like a little novelty to it, I guess. Maybe it's just that it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think for me, it's like harder to work at home. Like I'm just too distracted. It's too easy for me to be fucking, getting a little snack and this and filling my water and this. And, let me get another coffee. Like I don't. I think I need to start leaving again to going somewhere because I'll kind of like focus in a little bit better when I would leave and just go get a coffee somewhere and sit down with my laptop.
Yeah, you got to get in the zone for sure. My routine pretty much when we're at home majority of the time was just get up in the morning if I'm going to be home for half the day in the morning and just grab a coffee and sit down and kind of like, lay out a notebook, open up the screens and throw on some Hermanos Gutierrez, some crumbin, stuff with no vocals on it.
Yeah, something light.
Yeah, something
little-
with no
a little
vocals on
thinner.
it. Yeah, and just let it play in the background and just start with one thing and just one at a time, one at a time, till it's done.
That's unfortunately gonna be the case for everybody, the rest of everybody's lives and all of humanity, right? Like all you can do is just one thing, like one at a time. You can't try to obsess on the bigger picture.
Yeah. You can't have so many things pondering in your head. Just start with one and then go to two.
Yeah.
Go to two, go to three, go to
Yeah,
four.
you could be stressed out about number 4 and like, don't
And
even
you're
waste.
still on one.
Yeah, don't even
Yeah.
waste that energy,
You're
right?
wasting a lot of energy doing
Yeah, they kind of talk about that with like deep work, right? Like how they just boom, like you just lay out the few things and try to eliminate most of the distractions.
Yeah.
It's like a little another trend. There's always everything's always trending, right?
Even like on a big job site, like, we work together. We just look at one thing and just start there and start working with one. Knock out these 10, knock out these 20.
Yeah,
Knock out the doors.
Yeah, if that was me having to leave, just trying to position myself right there. Like, that's fucking scary.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck? I gotta do this. I gotta lead this whole fucking building. Like, we have to complete this whole fucking project over how X amount of months. But
Having a partner makes it,
yeah, it makes it better.
You take responsibilities and just break them off.
Yeah, but then that's also part of like advancing, right? You're not gonna get paid more money for easier tasks.
You got to be uncomfortable to move forward.
Always, like, literally nonstop, huh?
Yeah, you got to be uncomfortable. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not. As freaking Will Smith says, right? If it makes you uncomfortable, do it, right?
Yeah. The comfortable shit is the trap, right?
Yeah, you're just stuck there.
Yeah. You've already done it so many times. That's crazy, right? You've already done it so many times. You know what comes next, but you still choose.
Just like you're just like working out.
Yeah.
You're already comfortable. You're like, I don't need to work out. I'm really comfortable. I don't have to do nothing. And you really need to work out.
Yeah.
I've been trying little by little for myself.
Getting back into it.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
What's nice about right now when we're staying at the hotel that we're at, they have the little gym's nice.
It's solid.
Yeah,
it's
solid,
cool.
yeah.
And it's also the small things too, like just that painting of Arnold, like
Yeah,
shit like that.
yeah.
Who's on the other side?
I don't know.
I think Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, they had a few. It's pretty nice. They did a good job.
That's what takes away from like a 24-hour just being so like bland and fucking, it's like really flat. Like, just a picture of the beach.
Yeah.
Like a little quote, and that's it's not like
It's a
put
good.
some more umph in it. Put some more fucking sauce in it.
It's actually a good combination. Staying at that hotel with that thing, you don't have to go 24 hours. Cause we went to 24 hours once, me and Francisco and James, but it was a little bit of a distance. So it was like, It was 20 minutes. I guess it's not a distance for us, you know.
Yeah, just to go to the gym though, that's a lot.
Yeah,
for
but people from
considering
Vegas, that's like an hour for them.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's so far, it's so far. Oh my God, it's so far. I laugh at that. I'm like, what do you mean it's far? 20 minutes?
Just hop over right there.
Yeah, that's like a hop and a skip.
That doesn't even get us to LA, especially not in the morning.
No.
Like in traffic.
Maybe at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
You get there at 20. But even then, there's construction
Yeah.
all the time.
Although, shout out Dib. One time he did drive us from right there from Mama's Tacos to the V in the amount of one 3-round fight. So it was like less than 20 minutes.
Like, that's crazy.
On a Saturday, and remember he had the little smaller Beamer?
Yeah.
Was there not anything that you used from the lessons with the studio and the music and everything to help improve your company? But maybe help improve like how you try to operate?
I don't know. So, you know, you got to remember that I've been in this business since I was 18.
Right.
So a lot of it was already what I knew already.
Right. Yeah, those lessons you learned are in this industry already, right?
Yeah. Always hardworking. I mean, you know, we did a lot of hard work and continuing. You know, we try to, you know, be as busy as we can all the time, right? Nonstop.
Yeah, and especially with people under you too, right? Like you don't want them just like sitting at home and shit.
Yeah.
That's not good for anybody.
No.
Nobody around. Yes, it would just be like any type of maybe like bigger picture leadership stuff, right? Where maybe could be something more that applies to the company. But you always had like a leadership skill regardless, right?
For a long time.
Yeah.
Even back in the days, you know.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
How do you think you developed that, or was it just like kind of instinctual?
Probably more instinctual for sure. Maybe as a family man and knowing, you know, we gotta lead our family, but being maybe the oldest of the family,
yeah,
you know, puts you in that position.
For sure. I know we're of a big ass family too.
Yeah. But you know, as we get older, then I have to leave you know, it's kind of like then I had the kids, and then it was 4 of us, and you know, it was first it was Ali and Sierra, so I got to make sure. You know, making sure them 3.
And you were relatively young when that happened too.
Yeah. I was in my young 20s, early 20s. Things are changed now. You know, look at you guys. Look at the girls. Everybody has pets.
Yeah.
Those are all our grandkids.
That's the problem though, right? That's why our population is decreasing.
Kind of sucks. But we'll see one day.
Yeah.
The girls are having a good time. Ali went to Bonnaroo. They shut down Bonnaroo. They said no, it was raining. Which is Bonnaroo's like a Coachella, but out in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I guess because it was going to storm and everything, they shut it down.
Oh, because the storms were too hard?
They shut it down.
Lightning, tornadoes possibly?
Yeah. They're back at the house with Mom now.
Oh.
They're all together partying. Vero, everybody.
Oh, that's comedy.
Mom's out there sweating her butt off.
Oh, yeah. I'm perspiring. That's what she's going to say.
Yeah. Mom needed that, though. I'm glad she's out there.
Yeah, that's cool. The South has to be a trip, too, right?
Yeah.
It's super trippy?
Super chill.
Yeah, super.
It's chill. I like it. I like it going out there.
I've never...
The weather ain't perfect, but there's a lot of adventures we could do out there.
Yeah. We did Texas, but Texas is Texas.
Yeah,
Even though it's the South,
yeah.
Texas, I feel like Alabama, New Orleans, Tennessee, like that's the South to me.
Tennessee's more like a green Texas. You know, everything's green. That the Bonnaroo show is held in the mountains.
Yeah.
And there's nothing but big trees and then stages.
Fire. It has to be
fire,
super fire. Can we see
I've seen some video of
some of the stages at Bonnaroo?
And they're in the middle of like a middle of fields. They just throw stages up. But everybody's camping under trees and, you know.
It has to be like closer to some Glastonbury type shit, right? Hey, you pull up that second one. Yeah, let me see that. Zoom in on that a little bit.
Wow.
Oh, you got that tree line right in the back. Oh, that's a lot of people.
Is that the map? The one on the left? Is that the map of the place?
Yeah. All the stages. I don't know.
Is it? Yeah, right?
Yeah, Travis Scott says something, right? What did he say? I turned the club into Bonnaroo.
Yeah, people... They have all types of music in there. That place is crazy.
Has to be like some Glastonbury type shit, right?
I don't know. What is that? Like another...
The one in England on that farmland? The one we would always watch, the videos, like the Kendrick.
Yeah. Of them out there. They're big shows.
Yeah, it's like on a guy's ranch.
Yeah, right there, just sort of the stages. But there was videos. Ali was starting to blog it. I forgot to sing it, but she had to do 2. Then they shut it down, and they were coming out good already. And people are just wilding out there.
Yeah, so what do they do, huh? Everybody's there. They can't, like, reschedule.
No,
They can't, yeah, that's it, right?
they're refunding everybody.
Oh.
75% of their of what they pay for their tickets. They're refunding everybody.
Yeah, that's a disaster for the promote. But do you think they would have to have some type of insurances to cover that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the promoters and
Yeah,
everybody? Because they can't just take an L like that. That's
Well, it's
like a 8-figure L.
oh, imagine all the setups.
Yeah, yeah.
All the
Crazy.
stage, all the rigging, like what
Yeah.
Dib does.
Yeah.
They
Well,
like shut it
Coachella
down.
takes a whole month to set up and
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to take
Yeah.
down.
Oh,
A
yeah.
month on each end, beginning and
Oh,
end.
yeah.
Crazy, right? A whole ass month. 2 months, I guess.
And
technically.
imagine I went out to the Kendrick show. We went out early to go see that suite, and they were still setting up. Nothing was set up. The
Oh,
stage
yeah.
wasn't set up. There was just like barely the frame sitting on the floor
Yeah.
before they lifted it.
How
That
many
was like
days?
Thursday,
Thursday. Oh, so yeah, just what?
and they had it all done by
yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, what the
48 hours ahead.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy,
In and out too, huh?
spooky, hilarious.
Did
Peekaboo.
you
Now
ever
that's-
see my video that went viral?
No.
You never saw it? The crazy
What?
spooky.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. I'm lying.
That is hit a big. All my biggest hits were like random bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Like
People say to repost that.
Yeah.
They say repost it again.
Yeah. When I did I should have reposted it right after the Super Bowl.
Is that when it was for the?
No, I had posted it like before.
Oh.
I don't know, but I should have posted it again after the Super Bowl, right? Because that song was going on fire. Well, I mean, this was constantly been on fire. He just did the Toronto show, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, just dissing.
The disrespect.
Yeah, but they loved it though. Huh?
Yeah.
Have you seen like the kids they interview and like what's the?
No.
Put like pull up a Toronto Tide on TikTok.
And they're just dissing.
Nah, they like interview them, but like how they talk is fucking. It's just
Oh, the Toronto people.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like a Canadian at Edgar's,
The young kids.
like the
Like
yeah
that
yeah,
guy?
the best accent in the world.
What's the best accent in the world?
Yo, broski, choose my word, broski. It has to be the Toronto accent. My word, broski.
Whoa, whoa.
Every accent
That's like a
besides
Jamaican,
come on
Toronto,
now, bro.
England.
That's on broski. What am I, dead?
And then the dog comes up. Like, what's wrong with this guy?
They interviewed
now.
some fools like they're just trying to diss on Kendrick right there outside. They're like, "What's up with Ken?" Like, bro, they're just talking nonsense. Has to be weird, huh? How does he even do that? I guess how do they do that, right? Like, what? Imagine that's like if somebody just flamed up Kobe, just dissed on Kobe, and we are just in Staples Center to kick it with them. Like, you people get fucking whooped on, right, for dissing Kobe. Didn't somebody get jumped at the 2020 for
Did they?
saying? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Somebody like screamed "fuck."
Dang.
Like, they dissed Kobe at
Yeah.
the 2020 the Lakers
Yeah.
championship.
Yeah.
And they just got hopped.
Right away, yeah.
Played yourself.
You know, typical LA fans, you know,
Yeah.
they take it to the heart right away. Like, oh, we're fighting.
Yeah, well, you can't say that about Kobe, especially after he had just passed away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No mames, huh?
Fans, everybody was. Their feelings were.
Yeah, that shit was
it was
tough.
deep, yeah. It was a
Well,
crazy
that's
thing.
happened to Joe Rogan's homie too, right? Ari. He
Same thing?
he did a video like dissing Kobe. I guess when people die, he just like disses them,
Oh.
and he did it for a gang of people, but he did it for Kobe.
Yeah, people
like
weren't-
talking shit like, oh, he was a rapist and all this type
No,
of shit.
wow.
And the fury of Hal came for him. He had to dip away for a couple
People
of
took it to the heart right away.
yeah, well, yeah, you can't get away with that. Not right there, I guess, maybe, right? Like, that's a little too early.
Yeah.
It's too early.
It's always been wild though.
It'll never stop being wild.
Nah.
That just means it's normal, right?
Yeah.
Like, our life is so fucking crazy, but it's always crazy, and it always will be crazy. Then
Now it's normal
crazy.
for us. This is normal.
Uh,
Back at home, it wasn't normal. Growing up in LA, that's for sure. Growing up in East LA, our normal were people doing drugs, dying, shootings,
drinking.
police helicopters,
Yeah.
just always pulling up with the light on at the park constantly. And we're like, yeah, this is normal.
Yeah. Getting harassed by cops,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, no problem.
That shit. It's weird to, like, be older now and think, like, oh, you know, like, they're just doing their job and this and that.
Yeah.
And no matter what, we were, like, if we didn't have the law enforcement, then society would be, you know, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have safe places to live. Our kids' lives would be at stake every single day.
No, we wouldn't be here where you're at, and I wouldn't be where I'm
Yeah.
at.
But it does suck that, like, they did, like, harass us and fucking bully
Yeah.
us and punk us and be, like, complete assholes. Complete
sure the cops out there.
disrespect, right?
Yeah, for sure the cops out there were different. You know, here and where I live, they don't do that.
Yeah, they don't just pull up on you.
They don't even profile like that.
Nah.
Out there, come here.
Yeah, automatically.
Yeah.
I guess we looked the part though, right? And
Yeah,
we were doing what they were looking for.
Yeah. We learned real quick and changed our style real quick
Yeah.
to polos and fades for a long time to change it up.
Did that work? Did you go under the radar a little bit?
Yeah, all the time, easy.
For us, it was like just get a board,
Yeah.
get a skateboard, and that eliminates.
Yeah, big
cut,
time.
Yeah, it cut a certain level. I never learned how to do like a kickflip or even really an
You
ollie.
traveled.
An ollie, but I'll be low key. Boom.
Yeah.
It changed the whole dynamic. Crazy, something so simple.
Yep.
It's not even a bike. A bike, you're still like, especially if it was one of those like a dyno burnt out shit, right? Like a GT or something.
Even Shorty, rest in peace, Renee. That guy, same thing. We all took on the same pathway. All right, we need to change our style.
Yeah.
Let's
Adapt.
change that.
You gotta adapt.
We adapt. We adapted quick.
Fuck yeah.
But just by adapting, then we had other people watching us.
Oh yeah.
It went beyond just the
Yeah.
local units. It went on to some undercover guys, you know.
Yeah. The next tier.
Yeah, the next tier, and then they started paying attention to what we're doing because we're on the hustle like always.
Yeah.
We had no choice because that's the only thing we've learned.
At that point, right?
Yeah,
That's all it was.
But I ain't gonna lie, even though at that point in my 20s I was already working, because Oscar got me into doing communications at 18.
Yeah.
He changed my life for sure. As we all started, he changed a few people's life from one to everybody.
Yeah.
And then we just started passing on, Pretty much when I turned 18, that's when the industry of communications was changing, and they're bringing in data and swapping it out for the old
25 pairs.
25 pairs of data and
bullshit,
voice. Yeah, it's crazy. We've seen the whole industry change in these last years since I was 18 till now.
It doesn't feel like it's changing too rapidly right now, right?
No, not now.
Not now.
But when it started, that was a rapid
for
change.
sure. But there's like, I don't know, eventually it'll evolve again, but right now it's kind of like in a phase where it's kind of like just plateaued. Not plateaued as far as growth, but just the tech isn't like advancing crazily. Like there's not new like super wicked cable coming in or anything.
No.
It's kind of been the standard shit for the past decade, right?
Yeah.
Probably since I started.
6A, and then they're trying to go to 7A, and then I think even 8.
It's already happening?
Yeah, but majority of companies just stick to 6, 5, even 5 still.
Fuck
because nobody's running that fast of stuff yet.
It's
just like,
but it will happen, right? Where like AI is gonna get implemented somehow, maybe on the server type of side.
Yeah,
something will happen. It has to be.
Yeah, I don't see it getting involved in like the actual physical
install. No, never, right?
Yeah, because it takes. I can't see any automation putting this stuff together. There's always going to be electricians. Blue collar workers will always be there, from the welders to the electricians to the plumbers to the telecommunication guys. Doing the network cabling and.
The AI is advancing, but it's like that's my thing. Like everybody's worried about like the AI this, the AI that. Like but you could put down your phone and it's not affecting really anything else.
No.
In your regular life. I guess on the outskirts, like society-wise, but not in your day-to-day life. Like, there's farmers, in Tennessee. What? That shit, I don't give two fucks about that shit. I'm right here living. I'm ranching. I'm fixing this fucking fence right here and putting some more wiring up. I don't give a fuck about this AI
But for sure,
shit.
it helps their automation, right? Because they set up automated, kind of like Interstellar. Remember that one scene on Interstellar when the trailers, when all the tractors pulled up back to the house because it was having a malfunction?
Yep.
Like, that's not far if it's not already here.
Yeah. Well, there's self-driving cars and Ubers and shit. Yeah. So there has to be
self-driving.
Like
you call those? Farm equipment.
Yeah, farm equipment.
Yeah.
Well, what are those called?
The tractors.
Tractors, tractors, right?
Yeah, and then they just add trailers to them, that pull the crops or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Hoers.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a crazy time in the next like 10 years. It'll be wild for sure. Hopefully, I'll have all my stuff together by then. I got a good 10 years to do as much as I can.
Yeah, we can't get left behind by AI, but then what we do kind of can't get out evolved essentially.
Yeah,
because like you like as far as something like this is me selling my personality, my perspective, my who I am, and then a huge part of your ability to move forward is also yours people skills, and being able to be personable and like enjoyable company.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
like, so,
Yeah.
it's not fun to work with somebody that's not fun to work with.
No, not at all.
And that can't get outdated by AI. Never.
No, right now, the people we have in our company, we work well together.
Yeah, and then even
Everybody.
with the customers too, right?
Yeah, we get along with the customers well.
Did you always feel that way, like that it was easy to talk to like anybody?
I don't know. Maybe I've always felt like a people person.
Like it just came
Because we've always
naturally.
attracted people. Even
Yeah.
growing up in the hood and doing the things we did, that we've always attracted people to talk to us, and there was always the personality that helped. That
Yeah.
people would be like, "Oh, these guys are cool."
It's fun to be around. I guess that's like charisma, right? Charismatic. Yeah, because I mean, I still struggle with that. It's also like a personality thing, though, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not. I don't find it easy to like just talk to everybody, anybody. But it's a super powerful skill, and I've gotten better with it. Like, especially with kickboxing and shit, you got to talk to people all the time. And it's a lot of small talk shit, but it's also interesting people. Like, so it's not like a demand. Like, I don't want to talk to all these fuckers.
Yeah, but I think us growing up at the park and doing all the sports we did, we made a lot of. We're able to talk to everybody. It made it easier for us to have conversation with people because you're always with your teammates, right?
Yeah, and if you want to win and be good,
Yeah.
you gotta. Or if you just want to have fun too, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there'll be like a little strange kid on the team, right? That didn't talk much, and you couldn't get much out of him. Like a kid that just got forced by their parents. You're gonna fucking play.
They're always forced. There's always some people that
But
get
at least
forced
they
to
did it though,
Yeah.
At least they did it. They at least have those memories, right?
Sure, they look back and they're like, man, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't have been the same.
Fuck yeah. I mean, it's easy to regret. Like high school sports, you gotta play 4 years,
3 seasons.
3 seasons.
And then
Fuck
I
yeah.
was done at the end of
Senior year.
beginning of senior year. I was done.
Do you remember like any crazy games, like maybe a Roosevelt type of like a rivalry
nothing
game?
crazy. It was just being that I played Pop Warner, we're always in the game.
Yeah, it was like the
So,
same shit.
yeah,
right?
it was the same thing, just a little more intense. Things were getting crazy. My grades were tough.
Yeah. You were already. The cycling was already happening. right?
Yeah, but I didn't feel like I wasn't smart. I just felt like some things I didn't understand. Maybe it just wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe
sure.
it just threw me off. But
I mean, any type of like wood shop or auto shop, anything.
yeah, hands on. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have worked a lot better for you. And that's not even in schools no more.
No,
right?
I remember
like-
being in junior high.
Yeah.
In Stevenson, they had it. That wood class, the brick building. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They had the music, they had
Tech,
wood,
the
they had
technology
everything
too.
in
That was all in the
building.
brick building.
Indiana and Whittier.
Right there. I remember like the first day I got to Stevenson, like as a 6th grader, like there was 2 8th graders, 2 girls, and they just started talking, man, like, fuck that bitch, fucking hood rat bitch, like what's up then, bitch? I don't fuck you. And I was just in 6th, I was shocked at what was going on. What the fuck, damn, these bitches about to get down right now. Not that, I'm sure I had seen some fights in my years leading up to 6th grade, but for some reason, it was like the first day. It was like it felt like that changed. Like, oh shit, this ain't Eastman no more.
Was that before they moved the 9th grade to high school? Because 9th grade used to finish in Stevenson.
Yeah, no, that was after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It used to be Stevenson. Used to be 7, 8, and 9.
Oh yeah, no.
Then
Yeah,
you
6
go-
was at Eastman.
Yeah.
No, it was 5th and 6th at 5th at Eastman, 6th at Stevenson. I gotta get some tees too, like a Garfield shirt. That shit would be super
Even
hard.
the Eastman. We can make
Yeah.
a custom Eastman
right.
now, man.
Start rocking
Yeah.
them up. That's the problem too, right? With fashion, is like everything's so simple to make now too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy something that I kind of like just because I need clothes. Like,
Yeah,
I'd rather
yeah.
make shit.
Been wearing a lot of blanks lately.
Yeah.
And now I just started printing my own. I just
Yeah.
go on. I go on online. You could order them for like $5 to $6 each thing that you want to
Each sheet?
design.
Yeah.
And then you just get that heat press for $200. You get heat press them at your house
Fuck yeah.
and done.
I might have to tap in with that. But I say that now and then it just be sitting there, right? I'm like, I'm doing this already.
I've been using mine. I
Yeah.
made those other
I could
shirts.
just
Remember
probably
those
pull
other
up
shirts?
with you,
Yeah.
and
I
we'll
made
make
those other
some-
ones.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I just made all my vests
Yeah.
for all the whole company.
A reissue.
Yeah, reissue
Yeah,
color vests.
they get worn out.
Man,
they
they were
get fucking
beat up.
Yeah.
My pockets hanging, put stuff in the
Yeah,
pocket. All the
dirty as
tools are
fuck.
filing out.
Wash them like fucking once a year and
Yeah, we
shit.
haven't even washed it.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way.
But I gotta keep that one for welding. I gotta do some welding this week.
Yeah.
Tacking. Yeah, some of the guys seen the welder right there. They're like, "Oh, I know how to weld." dudes, we don't have time for you guys to be learning. We gotta whack it out.
Yeah, just keep going.
Smash it out.
Unless it's like one person that, all right, he could learn how to do it.
You could do it all now. You know, we're people of many skills. You know.
What's something that you didn't expect, like maybe in a positive or a negative, that just like transitioning over?
I mean, of course, it's better now. You know, we're making some more money to take our lives. You know.
Do you feel more motivated now that it's?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, right.
Constantly trying to do something. Even if we're standing around waiting for someone to finish something for we could take off, I feel like I can't just stand around. So I'll go and start organizing a lay down or a cart that has all the material laid out. Like people have been using that cart, you know, it gets all messy. Yeah, you already know. I start organizing. Yeah. I don't like to be unorganized at a job.
It just makes things worse.
Yeah.
It makes everything longer, more difficult, more frustrating. That's everything in your life, though. That's in your house, right? Yeah. That's in your fucking, your books, anything. That's the effort you take to clean shit up and make it more organized is way less effort than how much harder it makes day-to-day things being a mess.
For sure.
All day. That's also something that that was already your game plan, right? Yeah. You have like a lot of traits that they just like they
line up.
Yeah. And they just transfer over well.
But I learned over years, for sure. My first 10 years of being married, me and Erica being together wasn't easy. Yeah. It was always a struggle with money, or we spend too much money. Like it's always
having to move too, like knowing like outgrowing places.
Yeah, it was a constant, you know. Finally, in the last couple years, the last probably like last 8 years, things have been getting 100% better. Just moving forward.
Yeah.
You know,
more stability.
Up the hill, way better. You know, but with that comes a lot more stuff too. Taxes, the bills are more expensive, everything.
For the people that are thinking about making those moves, like how was the licensing processes and all that? Were those difficult?
Well, Francisco took care of all that.
Right.
So Francisco was handling that stuff. I was handling a lot. Francisco takes care of that and I take care of all the like material, quotes, this and that, you know, all the paperwork stuff.
Right. He takes care of making sure the insurances are paid and
take care of all that. Yeah, he's on top of that, but it wasn't easy. I remember he was constantly on the phone. People call all day.
Yeah.
Everything. You got to keep an eye on the license. You got to make sure it's up to date. You got to make sure insurances are up to date. I mean, there's a lot of things that come with it. Even when you get into a big company and they have bigger people watching you, they want to make sure, you know, they go through processes to see you guys have all your P's and Q's lined up, right? Is that what you call it? Something like that? Insurances, everything, you know. But Francisco does a good job. Does a great job of taking care of all that. It's a good partnership that we have.
Yeah, so I'm sure that's probably something that worked out well for both of you guys, right? Like having a good business partner.
Yep.
Because people make mistakes in that department, and it could.
I make mistakes. He makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, you know. But you gotta always ask questions too. Always fall back to asking other people that have businesses too, and you know, you are who you hang out with. But at the same time, I believe you are who you admire.
Right.
You know, who you want to
be. Who you can rely on.
Yeah.
Has that been important? Like being able to.
Yeah.
To be in contact with different business owners that are more experienced.
Yep. 100%, including our buddy from the electrical company, even our other buddy that does all the pools. You know, all those guys have been in business, you know, for a while. Obviously, the electrical company's been in business for a long time, a very long time, and he's living a better life, and he comes from nothing,
which shows us
that we come from nothing, and we could have it all. For sure, all of us have changed our lives from living on 924, you know. Salazar Park, kicking it right there, and it's been quite an adventure. Yeah.
Does something ever trigger your mind to be like, damn, like it's been this much of a journey?
No, I don't know. I don't even look back. I feel like I always look forward. I always feel like
that's such a skill. That's powerful, because it's easy, like for somebody like me, you know, I'm more of a deep thinker, and I look at things like a little more philosophically, I guess. I would say. But then you find that's a slippery slope if you start like, like you usually go back to, oh shit, remember this? Like, I could have did this different. I could have done that different.
There's no point of dreading on the past.
Yeah.
Just do your everyday and look forward and keep looking forward. I guess the only thing you have to look back on is doing your taxes, because if you don't do your taxes, then you're gone. You know, so the taxes is what's really That's the only time I look in the past.
Yeah.
You know?
Good, right? Good.
But I always ponder about the past every now and then. Not too crazy though, because I don't know. There's a lot to ponder about. You know, being 50, there's a lot
Right.
back there,
Yeah.
especially my 30s and before that. You know,
Yeah.
from
Teens to 30s.
yeah, you know, there's a lot of things going on in our lives in that time.
Yeah, you do got to get it down somehow, though. No, like maybe like write it. I don't know if we'll write it out
Yeah.
loud or
Yeah.
just like a little some type of like a audio or record it.
Yeah, maybe it was wild times to the
Yeah,
the
Well, at
90s
least
and 2000s
Yeah.
were crazy
for your
sure.
grandkids and
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
generations to come.
Yeah.
And come.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there is a story, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
1,000 stories within a story.
Yeah, we could do a whole nother podcast just talking about what happened in all those years. You know?
Yeah.
The adventures were truly crazier than we could imagine. I don't think people, a lot of people over there trying to live that lifestyle still, and that lifestyle is already done.
Yeah, it's been done, and you can't even really do it anyway. So why even
Nope.
try? Yeah.
Nope. There's cameras in every corner, people with phones everywhere, like so.
It's also not as cool as it was.
Yeah, it's not.
You
It's
know,
not.
Like, and I'm sure in the '90s it was more of a general
Yeah,
thing. Like it was
yeah.
kind of what everybody was doing, and also hip hop was new.
Yeah, it was
Everything was changing.
Tupac, West Side Connection,
Yeah, Snoop.
everything you could imagine. That all
Hitting
those
crazy,
crazy, pumping people up, man.
Yeah, for sure. Bad influencer, you would say.
Yeah,
For sure. It's like a soundtrack to
Yeah,
a soundtrack to be bad, huh?
yeah. People think it's cool, but you know, for us, it was just an everyday thing.
It was
It
not.
was normal.
It was not really a choice though, neither, right?
No, we didn't have a choice. We had to adjust to
It's
our.
kinda like guilty by association.
Yeah, we don't
Or like
adjust.
guilty by location,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Location.
I think that's the title right there, guilty by location.
And that's a good one right there. Be your first book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be your book.
don't know.
I'll ghostwrite it for you.
Yeah.
You just have to give me all the stories. What is that? Like a scribe, right?
Yeah, it'll
The
be crazy.
people that write all of them.
Yeah.
It's cool too to be able to like talk to you right here at this stage of your life too, where you have
Yeah,
because you for sure have changed from like from
Yeah.
you had to right
Yeah,
from
yeah.
when us working together to now these 2 years
Yeah.
later you
Yeah.
have if you didn't change then that would have been bad, but it's
Yeah.
cool to see the growth, and for sure I'm happy for you guys, and I'm glad you guys
Thank
are doing. I'm glad you guys are moving forward. Hopefully more of us keep moving forward.
Yeah, we can. Everybody can. It just takes time, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, and you can't be lazy about it, and you're gonna have to
No.
sacrifice some shit too,
Yep.
right?
Yep. And be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Sacrifice and be uncomfortable.
yeah. Nothing about leadership and entrepreneurship is like nothing simple or nothing's like nice and fucking pleasurable.
No.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's constant discomfort, right?
yeah. But you learn. You learn how
Yeah,
to
and
deal
then-
with it.
And you get a little bit tougher too, right? So this level of discomfort gets normal,
Yeah.
and then you go to the next one.
Yeah, because I even see it in the homie that has an electrical company. That guy, he's still stressed out.
Yeah.
He's already made it. He's stressed out still.
Why do you think that's the case though? Why is that a common theme?
I don't think they want to stop. I don't think they want to retire. They just want to
They
just
love
keep
the
going.
game.
Yeah, they love the game.
Yeah.
There's nothing for else them to do. Like I
Right.
want to just constantly be in the game.
But being stressed out and being successful, that's like, all right, how successful
yeah.
are you if
Yeah.
you're stressed out?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you can't enjoy it when you're not working,
Right.
that's not really success, right? That's,
Yeah.
To a certain degree. To
Yeah.
a certain,
Yeah.
and that's not just for anybody in general, but that's like that's a dark side of entrepreneurship and success, right? Because
Yeah.
success is there's a whole nother thing that we don't think about, Like imagine if I-5 would have fucking took off and everybody would have had money, would have been fucking toasted in 6 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
all bad.
Yeah.
It would have been, that's why we weren't successful though, right? Because the discipline it takes to earn success changes you, and then when you get the success, you're ready,
Right. Right. Yeah.
Because like if you earn the success quick, then you're not disciplined or toughened up enough. Like, nah, I fucking, it took me forever to get here. I'm not gonna just shit it all away.
Nope.
Where these fools got success and then they didn't know what they were doing, right? No
Yeah.
sustainability, no systems, no people protecting them, like their circle, like the smoke perps and the little pumps.
Oh yeah.
Because they were 17, 18 already lit.
Yeah. Where are those guys?
I don't know. Lil Pump.
He's just out.
Yeah,
Hey,
he's.
he
I don't
probably
know
got
what's-
money invested it. Like didn't who did that? Waka Flocka or
Oh
somebody,
yeah,
right?
yeah, but he
got
was
his
like
money
already
and got
older
out.
though. He's
Yeah, and he
already
got
older.
out. He got his money and got out.
I don't know what happened to these other fools.
Yeah.
That was an interesting era too, right? Because that was all like we started recording, like all these other fools started pop. Social media got a little more like, oh fuck, it's active, SoundCloud and shit.
Yeah, that was a little more wow. That finding music started coming back the way it should be.
Yeah, Kendrick fucked it all up, right? Well, the country was taking over for a lot. Like rap got boring, repetitive, hype, turn up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like all
Trap,
like yally, like it got way too like it was like punk rap.
Yeah.
Like all that shit, it's just too loud. And then country started. That's when like country started taking off. But once this fool had the beef, right, he fucking changed it all up.
Those guys are crazy.
Yeah.
They did some crazy stuff right there. The show was crazy.
How was that being able to like celebrate your birthday?
Yeah, I
like
enjoyed
that?
it. It was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I'm glad everybody was there. You know,
I'm
the
glad
team that we have
people were there.
Yeah, it
a
was
lot
cool.
of people were there.
You know, getting there was a little stressful. You know, get everybody.
Yeah,
working,
yeah.
you know,
The
but-
traffic was fucking
but
crazy.
The overall weekend. You know.
Well,
It
it's
was a
all
good time.
that's anything, right? Going anywhere, getting there, leaving is always hectic, but it's those moments in between that are fucking there.
There was also almost 18 of us
Yeah.
trying to get in one place, and then we
Yeah,
never
yeah.
transferred the tickets. So
Yeah.
everybody, Baco kept on having to scan everybody
Scan
in at every
18
damn
people in.
checkpoint. We're like, God damn, we were like a whole school bus of people.
Yeah, we were the fucking whole short bus right there, people.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I didn't drink too much. I don't remember getting drunk, but I remember the night before on Thursday, me and the guys, we had some drinks. We were walking off
Yeah,
Fremont.
the-
I got buzzed with them, you know,
The morning
midnight
of
hit,
your birthday.
yeah, yeah. So I was with Paco and
Yeah, with the company-
the
company boys.
It was a good time. Yeah, we had a good time that night.
Yeah.
We drank a few more. After everybody left, we had a few more drinks, like on Sunday and a couple nights. And, you know, it was kind of easier to have a good time and get drunk because.
Yeah.
And I usually don't drink.
Yeah,
So-
it's just the company, and
Yeah.
that's also like brings a it's a camaraderie moment
yeah,
too,
oh,
right?
yeah.
It's like it's some, but that's also a thin line too. That like, cause you need to have fun and you need to be able to
Yeah.
enjoy people's
Yeah.
presence, but when it's time to work, we gotta be able to work too.
Yeah,
And like that's the trap of music, right? Like music is like, oh, sometimes the more, like the more fucking faded I am, the better, the less I give a fuck. So my
Yeah.
recording, I come out a little bit more character.
Yeah.
But it's a trap though, right? It's like,
Yeah. We did a good job though, keeping it together, you know.
Yeah.
Whenever we drink, all right, you know. It was a good experience for sure. I learned a lot, you know, mixing and chopping videos and
Yeah.
recording. We did some good adventures, you know.
For sure. One of the guys that was on, he hadn't seen much of my music.
Yeah.
And he just like pulled up my profile. I was like, oh, let me see this. Like, let's put this. And it was candy paint.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just hard.
Yeah.
But then we went, I'm like, yeah, I did this. And then I got to Still Peaking finally. What? This shit's sick. Like he was
The
pumped
Vegas
up.
one.
Yeah, the Vegas one. Still
yeah,
Peaking.
Yeah.
Like I was showing him right here after we filmed our episode.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's sick. And that one is fucking
Yeah, it's
crazy.
trippy how
The
we did it.
layers are.
Yeah.
Can we pull up a little bit of that? Still Peaking? The layer, you had like
Yeah.
4 cameras,
Yeah.
4 shots right on top of each other.
Yeah.
That shit's super tough. We talked about it with Dib too. Right? We all
Did you guys?
we all shroomed it the day that they made that beat. And I walked in and the beat was playing and what the fuck? That's why it's Still Peaking, right?
Yeah.
I'm still peaking off the shrooms. And I have to do an episode.
We were just
on
out there
shrooms.
working, right?
Yeah, middle of COVID. Man, yeah, look at those layers. So sick.
And we just had the projector going on in
Yeah,
the
hell
studio.
yeah. I haven't even watched this video on shrooms. Yeah, the little characters on. Nobody's done a better downtown Fremont video than us, huh?
Yeah.
Hey. Was that some of it had to be enjoyable too, right? Like
What?
once
Yeah.
once you got it's getting through the rough first, like
You
couple
mean
months.
chopping it up or?
Yeah,
what do you
yeah.
mean?
Like making creative
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
Like learning the
I-
program and stuff.
Yeah, well, I still wasn't a professional. I mean, I'm not a professional. I just learned it as we went,
Yeah.
I watched a lot of YouTube videos and watched a lot of, what people would do, and I just learned how they did it, and we just got used to doing it, right? We
Right.
just kind of like,
But there is a certain part where it does become enjoyable too.
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah. I used to
it's
enjoy
fun.
cutting,
Yeah.
or we'll sit there and chop it up. It would just be like, wow,
Fucking comedy
look what we
too.
did. Yeah,
Fucking
comedy.
The outtakes and shit.
Yeah.
Straight blooper reel. Gotta keep going.
Every now and then I go back to all our videos and I just run through them.
Just tap back in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've literally crazy, right? I don't have one video that you didn't film and edit and.
What was the
everything.
total video count that we had on there?
I don't know.
With everybody.
Yeah, we could pull that.
Sanchez and Aki. I wonder
Yeah,
what
count
it
all the
actually
videos?
was.
Maybe like somewhere between 8 and 11.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. Hopefully we
the
hit
one we did at the park too was good.
black palm trees.
Yeah. That was trippy.
Hopefully we hit 10 digit or double digits. Yeah, music videos, right? Yeah, it has to be double digits. See, we got 1,
What does it say right there? 10?
10.
Oh yeah, we barely made 10.
Yeah, perfect. Huh? Oh, maybe there's 2. Yep. Black palm trees. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like making the music videos.
Yeah, right.
That was always a good
It was-
workout, good everything.
Yeah, and it changed up the routine too, because
Yeah,
we had to
yeah.
get out of the studio. We had to find
Yeah.
a location. We had to be active and out and about and drive.
Responsibility was the first one we did, right?
Yeah.
Where just all right, let's just wing it. Let's
Yep.
go.
I'm all dressed wintertime for that one, huh?
We think
With
we
the
know.
beanie.
We think we know what we're doing. But we're just gonna do it.
We got some good ass videos. East LA Times is good. Ain't Used To's good. Relay's dope. We would pick good spots though too, right?
Yeah, that's the one. What was the one we did on the roof of that building?
Relay.
Relay.
Yeah, the relay.
Yeah, that was hard too.
Then it fucking caught on fire.
Yeah, what like the week
Like a
after,
week
a couple
later,
days
yeah.
later,
Yeah.
somebody burned the whole place down.
The homeless.
Wild.
The homeless.
It's LA shit right there all day.
When we
Burning it
just
up.
saw it fucking driving by, coming back from Olympic building, right?
Yeah.
Dog, if they could tag in there,
Yeah, we're getting in.
we could get in there to
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
There was one floor that had the light shining in, remember? But we got so excited, we ran to the roof.
Oh yeah,
there
we
was
missed
one-
it.
Yeah, and then when we
I
came
thought we
back,
had got shots in there. I don't remember if we got shots
too
inside the. Was it too dark?
well, that one floor, there was a moment like right during golden hour, the light was shining in like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You might have got like a B-roll or just a little
Right.
a commentary.
Yeah, that was good times. Those were
Yeah,
good times
right.
with that. Good experience. Everything we did there.
And a catalog too, right? Like
Yeah.
when I was talking to Ralphie
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, like, bro, you guys got an actual catalog that is like I could actually go through it and be like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys got something. There's
Between-
not nothing on there, Fools will try and only have 1, 2, 3 songs out.
Yeah. Between the SoundCloud and the.
Yeah, SoundCloud's still popping. I still get charged for the fucking
Oh, fuck.
the yearly membership. I don't want to let it go though.
Yeah.
You know
'cause
that it'll
they
cut,
disconnect it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll cut off
All the songs
half
on
the
there.
songs.
Yeah.
If we have 50 songs, it'll cut it down to
Yeah,
20 or whatever.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
just let it rock.
Yeah.
I mean, people are probably listening still, right?
Yeah. You can always move all those over.
Yeah,
Because
to
you have the
my
login,
shit.
you could re-download. Can't you download them off of there
Probably, yeah.
and stick them in a whole another
Yeah,
playlist of
playlist,
just
yep. Yeah, and
Some-
cut out the pay,
Yeah.
cut down the pay.
And put them on the YouTube in the back end of
Yeah.
it, right? On the playlist.
Yeah, for sure, on its own thing. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I gotta go back there. Yeah, it is. But
So whatever, I want to save that money, right?
yeah, and then it'll stay on YouTube.
Yeah. And I already have the premium and all my, and it'll give it a new life too. Huh? Somebody
Yeah.
will come across it
Yeah.
and be like, what the fuck is this?
These little scum buckets fucking around here.
It's the i5. It's my i5, homies.
Yeah. What happened to that guy?
He's still rocking and rolling.
Is
He
he?
does like 7 shows. He has like 7 different shows with everybody.
Is any of them popping?
Yeah. Well, he's
Mac
like,
Wah.
he's like tapped in with like No Jumper and all of them, and
Yeah,
the Fig Community,
Yeah.
and Community, and back on Fig.
What's his name? What's his name?
T-Rail.
No, he always has, what's his name there from
Smack.
Schoolboy? Yeah, he always Smack.
Yeah.
You know, we always see in Vegas when we walk around, that guy with the big teeth.
Oh yeah, I
nuts.
was telling like Paco or somebody about that. Who ain't got no bitches? Be struggling.
That guy's right there just kicking it on Fremont Street
Yeah.
right now.
Trying to get pool.
Yeah, I live in Vegas now. It's my new life over there.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday. I think I could get a P.O. box and get an ID over there now. No?
Dual citizenship.
Yeah. Dual states.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dual
two
statesmanship.
IDs, yeah.
That shit's crazy though. When we would go in summer too though, right? But it was like a kind of a fun challenge. Like just having to deal with the heat, and we'll take an ice chest full of a gang of shit on mad water.
That's what we have right now.
Yeah,
Water and
use all
Gatorade.
their ice.
Yeah.
all their ice
Still,
machine.
we do that now. We still do that now all the time. It's crazy over there. But I feel like the heat's different. Like sometimes when it's really hot here, I feel like it's hot.
Yeah.
But I feel like in Vegas, it doesn't feel as, it's hot, but doesn't, I don't know.
It's not as humid as over here.
No. It's not as crazy for sure.
The Vegas heat. Vegas, there's like a little magic to it. Also, you know, it's a fun city. As much as it is terrible and dirty and whatever, but that's any city is.
Yeah, because it has its bad parts. It's really bad parts.
Yeah.
And then it has its super nice parts, like where Dana White lives by the Red Rock.
Yeah.
Those are like nice over there.
He always posts the video. I fucking love this city, and it's all dark, and then you could just see the strip all the way off in the distance.
Oh, of course he loves it. He's in Red Rock. He's over there by the Red Rock. That's where all the rich people live. You know. Then even Steven's family lives in Henderson, and Henderson is nice too.
Yeah, nice and
which
quiet.
is the Palace Station, right? Or the the one we used to stay at with John. That area is kind of like more like this area, you know. It has a lot of like more clean, not homeless everywhere. But by the MLK building and North Vegas, and by Fremont,
Dug in.
wild.
Yeah.
You walk into a 7-Eleven, off the hook. People are off the hook.
Yeah, right.
Like crazy stuff.
Gotta be careful. And gotta be ready for anything.
Yeah, you gotta go in the prepared.
Yeah.
Mad dogging people. You're like,
Hey,
you're walking in like you're into the county jail, LA County jail, and you're in the outside.
And you're just trying to get a water and
you're just trying to buy
sunflower seeds.
Yeah. You got some Arab guys working in there. Another guy looked like an Irish guy with a red beard. And people they're all ready to fight. They're ready to fight the homeless, the drunk people. Even in the middle of the week on a Monday, Tuesday night, you walk into 7-Eleven, it's off the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas for sure got its ups and downs.
As does any city that's
that's
I don't know, we've never been to like Europe and shit, right?
No.
But anything big, Paris, London, all that's gonna be grimy. Maybe like you gotta like the Amalfi, Amalfi Coast.
But I feel like growing up in LA, the way we grew up, I feel like
it prepared you for a lot of things.
Like there's no fear. Like you know, we've seen so much already growing up in East LA and all around LA. It gives you, it's more easier
perspective,
to deal with stuff.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that's hard to. It's hard not to be grateful for like this experience is good and bad, right?
Yeah.
You gotta really it informs you
of where we're at now, for sure.
Prepares you a little bit because you got it. We took L's too, right?
All day. Yeah, all the time.
Whether us or the people around us, our families.
Losing friends, everything. Losing money, everything, all around.
Losing time.
Losing time. Can't say you lose time because I guess a lot of that time that was done in the past was where it put us now, experience-wise and mentally.
Even the time you lose to the law, right?
Yeah.
Still
going away for a couple of years surely helped. I'd rather be I'd rather be laying with my wife than laying in a dorm with hundreds of other men and away from my daughters.
Have it, huh?
You know, that was the end of the road for that.
Yeah.
Said, nope, I'm going to work. Gave me a prevailing wage job. Luckily, when I got out, my boy Oscar already had a job for me. Put me right back to work.
Well, that was like, 2 years, right?
Yeah, it was 2 years.
Yeah. There's no way it went by fast, right?
It didn't. But, the first year I was fighting the case for...
So that occupies a lot of shit.
Yeah, it does. And then I was injured for the first 6 months. I was injured pretty much for the first year, Wheelchair in the 6 months. First year, and the other 6 months I was on a cane. And then finally, when I accepted my thing, I already had a year in for 24 months was given to me, and then I went up to county. I went up to stay reception, and then went to stay. And then while we're in reception, we lost our grandfather, which was really heartbreaking, because I wasn't there, because he was like our dad,
Yeah.
He was actually someone that gave us things and, told us not to do things, right? Like a
Yeah,
father.
for sure. I think you have like a lot different perspective of him too, because he was so much older when I
Right,
was growing
right,
up and a kid.
Right. And I just spent a year like in the system for a little bit, re healed myself,
Yeah,
ran, jogged, ran into some of my friends, and then one day it was time to come home.
yeah, right.
And I was like, all right, time to go home, go get a job. And luckily, the good thing is that I started doing communications at 18, so it was good that I already had a skill.
Right.
And even growing up in the hood, I was still working.
Right. That's the problem. People
Yeah.
get out and not have a skill that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like a quick option. That's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
legal, positive, legal.
And I already had
A skill,
Yeah.
home
Yep.
home plate.
Yep.
At least to get your one little base hit right going.
Yeah. I was already doing it for like at least
Quite
6,
some
7
time,
years. Yeah.
Quite some
Yeah.
time, right?
For Renee and Oscar.
Do you turn 30 in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So then we spent 40 together, and then
Yep.
50.
50 was
Just
just
recently, yeah.
working, and then James and Jason were born, right?
Yeah.
When Jason were born, what? In my early 30s, right?
Yeah.
And those boys came into my life, and
Fuck yeah.
we
Here's to 60, huh? Here's to 60.
fuck, man. I didn't want to see it yet.
I mean, I got 40 next, so
It's a long way away.
yeah. So is 60, huh?
Yeah.
That's a lot of episodes away, dog.
Dang.
A lot of episodes.
89.
Repeated guests, huh?
Yeah.
Most requested.
There's more stories. I don't know what kind of stories we got into yet, but as I get used to it, maybe I'll do. I'll get better at it.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? That it always like I'm still learning, and it's like I feel like I always leave something on the table, but I don't. I also want to let it be organic
Yeah.
too, and I don't want to be like, oh, when did this happen and that happened and this and that, like. So I don't know. It's still a new thing that I'm learning.
Yeah.
But I'm glad for sure you pulled up, and
Yeah, for
even
sure.
just to be able to chop it up with you.
Oh yeah.
I think this has some value.
I hope. I don't know.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me, it's
That's
the
all
first
we
time,
could do,
but-
right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
yeah.
we could do.
I think the key is for us to practice staying on one subject,
Yeah.
to communicate to that one subject.
Yeah, like to get it into depth.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about work, or we're going to talk about LA or East LA or Salazar Park, and all the people we met growing
For
up in
sure.
Salazar Park.
All the
and
characters we met.
we grew up, we played sports, and all the friends and family and people we lost, and why we did it or why we're there, and people say they're Chicanos and they're still dressing like gangbangers.
Yeah.
When in reality, we are the real Chicanos. We are the real generation of Mexican Americans.
yeah.
Especially with everything that's going on, there's a bunch of young kids right now running around out there all crazy, putting the actual migrants that want to work and do good, they're putting them in harm's by doing violent stuff instead of protesting peacefully, right? So they're putting them in harm's way for the good people.
Yeah.
Like, we understand they want to take away the bad people. Yeah, that's fine, But for sure, they're putting all the hardworking people in jeopardy. And for what I understand, a lot of people like us, but the younger generation of Mexican American ones that are born here are just out there wilding.
Yeah, for sure.
Making it worse.
They don't genuinely care. It's more about like.
They're just having a good time.
Yeah, it's more about hating the enemy than loving your people. It's not. They're like, oh, when you have the enemy's like, oh, fuck, fuck them. They're wrong no matter what. So that's why they outburst like that. But if when you really love your people, who you claim to love, you're gonna do things in a little more direct, like something that's gonna last longer.
Yep.
Because destruction doesn't last for sure.
Yeah. Especially our grandfather came in the 1930s, and he created a life right away.
Yeah.
He did a lot.
So much.
This
so
was
much.
his home.
Yeah, for sure.
He came here and just made it his home. Like, I live here.
Yeah.
I'm
He
a
didn't miss a
Mexican.
beat, huh?
No, he said, I'm a Mexican American citizen, and I want to create my life here, and he did. Even though he was a player,
Yeah. How many baby mamas did he have?
I don't like 3.
3 or 4?
He had multiple properties on Dip Me Too, and tossed that up. because he got a divorce, he only ended up with one property.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
did not know that at
Yeah,
all.
that's small. He ended up with one property. He had to give away the other couple properties because they got divorced.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's he didn't shy away from a good time, no?
Nope, that's for sure.
Yeah, he wasn't threatened by a good time.
No.
That's cool. That's cool. He's such a staple in my thoughts too, especially because I didn't. He's my only grandparent
Yeah,
that I ever
yeah.
met. You know, I didn't meet his mom,
Yeah.
and then I didn't meet my dad's
Yeah.
parents. So like whenever I think of like a pride, like something pride, like a prideful Mexican moment, like
Yeah.
I'll think of
Yeah.
him.
I was
Like,
thinking
so
of me too.
whether it's somebody fucking walking out with a Mexican flag before the fight,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
when I saw that show in Cancun
Yeah.
at the the Aztec, replica stadium.
Yeah.
When I saw that shit, I was just he's the one that I think of my heritage.
I don't think people understand. I always have to bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, I always bring it up. Like, if there's a new person I meet and they're like, oh, you're Mexican. Yeah. We just, I'm just been here a lot of, I'm like a third generation already.
Yeah.
I always have to mention my grandfather came in the 1930s and started his life here, almost 100 years ago.
Bought his house in East LA.
Yeah. And started living there for us to have a better life,
Yeah. Oh, a gang of people, no? A gang of motherfuckers
Yeah.
are in and out of that house.
Even like Jonathan, Casper's family's the same thing. There's grandpa and grandma and them. Even like Desert, like Cowboy, Alice, and
Yeah, for
Grandma
sure.
Alice and all them.
Yeah.
They're all like, even I think yours too, right? Like
Yeah,
from
in
Weddle's
the
family.
dead end.
Yeah,
The dead end, for
like
sure.
they all started early,
Yeah. How they had to have known each other, right? I would hope. I gotta ask my mom.
Yeah.
Both of my grandparents,
Yeah.
they were.
All those older people knew
Yeah,
each
they
other
had to have known each other.
growing up at the park.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's. I don't know. I think my grandfather from my dad's side at some point either owned or operated one of the bars right there. So I'm sure if he did that, then I'm sure they were drinking buddies at some point. Alma, they don't even serve beer in there anymore, huh? In Alma's or anything like that.
I don't know that place.
Yeah, well, I haven't
Lot of-
walked in there,
A lot of things happen in that.
but I would love to drink a beer right there if they sold beer. Still.
Yep.
Cause I had a few beers in there, in my days.
Yeah.
One time, me and Lurks pulled up right there, and we were like 17 and 18, and they served us. We didn't do it often though, so we just
They're like, yeah.
it was just like a Wednesday night or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
We're like, oh, business is slow. Like, we'll get these guys a couple beers. And fuck yeah, they did. We had like 2 beers and dipped. I missed basketball practice to go drink with that fool. And I saw Jesse after right there on Dipman. He's like, our practice was Feedman, fool. You should have came.
And you didn't invite. You probably wanted to drink too.
Antonio. Well, Anthony, thanks for doing this. I think we're at a good point.
Yeah.
So,
We could do another one later once we
yeah,
get
we'll figure it
a
out.
good plan.
You know?
I think there's other stuff to talk about. Like,
Yeah.
I think especially we could have some good stories to talk about, and
Maybe I do have to approach this a different way too. Maybe I should be just like ask about this and that and that and that. You know, I ask questions, but it's still a new thing, I guess. But
Yeah.
shout out to everybody supporting and on the
Yeah.
journey with me. I guess these
Hell
are
yeah.
the SoundCloud songs.
yeah.
These are the, these are the ones that are like, damn.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's still good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'm sure
Yeah.
people will enjoy it, nonetheless. So yeah, unless you have something to say, it's for anybody. But yeah, where are you going from here?
Home
Home. There it is.
to Costco. Go to Costco and go buy the boys some pizza.
Yeah, fire. GFH, episode 15. Antonio Banderas Rosales Gutierrez.
Mm-hmm. Peace out.